We have been discussing on the fatty acids, the unsaturated fatty acids. How are they differentiated from saturated fatty acids? The unsaturated fatty acids are synthesized from the palmitic acid or the stearic acid, which are the saturated fatty acids. And these saturated fatty acids undergoes metabolism by means of desaturase enzymes, right? Microsomal desaturases, resulting in the formation of the corresponding monounsaturated fatty acids. The monounsaturated fatty acids are finally or further converted into polyunsaturated fatty acids. But the polyunsaturated fatty acids that are synthesized in the body cannot carry out the normal functions because the PFAS, polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are meant to carry out the most significant biological activities, belongs to either omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acids. Right? So the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids cannot be synthesized by the mammalian tissues because we are not having the specific enzymes. We do have delta-4 desaturases, delta-5 desaturases, or delta-6 desaturases, etc. That is, enzymes which are able to introduce a double bond beyond the 9th carbon atom, right, is not present in the mammalian system or the human system. So it is not possible for the synthesis of the essential fatty acids like oleic acid, linolenic acid, then the arachidonic acid can be synthesized if the body is having sufficient amounts of linoleic acid. Okay, so the essential fatty acids, that is the omega-3 fatty acids and the omega-6 fatty acids cannot be synthesized by the body due to the lack of the enzymes. The specific enzymes, only the desaturases which are present in the body can introduce double bonds in between the delta 1 position and delta 9 position, not beyond the delta 9 or with respect to the methyl group. There is omega terminal end, we cannot introduce a double bond. But those fatty acids which are having double bonds on the omega-3 and omega-6 are responsible for carrying out the peroxidate or antioxidant activity, the lipid membrane integrity activity can be carried out only by omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. So these fatty acids should be supplied or must be supplied through the diet. So those fatty acids we call them as essential fatty acids, right? So the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are the essential fatty acids and they are derived only through dietary sources, which can be again mainly the non-vegetarian sources. Of course, vegetarian sources are there, but it is lower when compared to that of non-vegetarian sources. Especially the fish or marine foods are rich in omega, especially the fishes. Are rich in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, right? So those portions has completed, and now we are moving on to the next topic, which are known as the eicosanoids. So eicosanoids are nothing but 20 carbon compounds, and they are synthesized from the arachidonic acid. Right, arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid, we know that it is a polyunsaturated fatty acid. So arachidonic acid, from the arachidonic acid, a class of or a group of വളരെ important item, very much significant to the body, very much important to the body. A group of molecules are synthesized from arachidonic acid, right? That is another importance of eicosanoids. Another importance of essential fatty acids. EFA, essential fatty acids or essential fatty acids or polyunsaturated fatty acids belong to the omega-3 and omega-6 category. Are responsible for synthesizing the group of molecules which are known as eicosanoids. And these eicosanoids has got a very important role in the body. They are responsible for carrying out lot of activities. They are responsible for regulating various activities in the body. Hence, it is essential for the body to synthesize eicosanoids. But eicosanoids can be synthesized, or the parent compound for the eicosanoid formation is the arachidonic acid, right? And again, arachidonic acid, to a small extent, it can be synthesized by the body from the linoleic acid. So linoleic acid is an omega-6 fatty acid, we know. So this, from the linoleic acid, the arachidonic acid can be synthesized. So it is an important fact that linoleic acid must be supplied through the diet. It can be derived from both vegetarian and non-vegetarian sources, but non-vegetarian sources are the rich source of linoleic and linolenic acid, or omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Clear. And omega-6 fatty acids, eicosapentaenoic acid, etc. will be formed, while linoleic acid synthesizes arachidonic acid, and this arachidonic acid forms the parent compound for a group of molecules. They are collectively known as eicosanoids. And what do you mean by eicosanoids? Eicosa, it's a Greek word, and it represents, or it means, eicosa means C20 or 20. 20. Eicosa means 20. Right? So those compounds which are having 20 carbon atoms in their structure, they are known as eicosanoids. Okay. So which are the eicosanoids? All the eicosanoids are synthesized from a single parent, that is the arachidonic acid. Again, arachidonic acid is derived from linoleic acid. Right? If linoleic acid is sufficiently supplied through the diet, then the body can convert linoleic acid to arachidonic acid. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ arachidonic acid is only a semi-essential polyunsaturated fatty acid. It can be synthesized by the body, and also it can be derived from the dietary sources also. So it is a semi-essential fatty acid, while linoleic acid is an essential fatty acid. Right? And what makes it essential? Because it is only from the linoleic acid that is derived from the food, the arachidonic acid can be synthesized by the body. Right? So what are eicosanoids? Eicosanoids are compounds which are synthesized from arachidonic acid. Right? And they are 20 carbon. All the eicosanoids are 20 carbon compounds. Eicosanoids include a large number of molecules, and all those molecules are having 20 carbon atoms in their structure. Hence, they are known as eicosanoids, because those organic compounds or those biologically derived molecules having 20 carbon atoms in their structure are known as eicosanoids. And which are the eicosanoids? Eicosanoids fall into mainly 3 different categories, that is the prostaglandins, right? Prostaglandins. Then there is another form which is known as prostacyclins. So prostaglandins, prostacyclins, thromboxanes, and leukotrienes. These are the main eicosanoids: prostaglandins, prostacyclins, thromboxanes, leukotrienes. Then there is another class of compounds known as lipoxins. Lipoxins. So these are the that's why related compounds. Related compounds means leukotrienes in the side or enzyme we can synthesize lipoxins. Clear. So the various types of eicosanoids are mainly, they are named as prostaglandins, thromboxanes, and leukotrienes. But they also include some other class of compounds which are known as prostacyclins, lipoxins, etc. Right? So eicosanoids are 20 carbon compounds. They are structurally similar to each other, but of course they are different from each other. But there is a slight similarity between them also. And all of them are collectively known as eicosanoids, or they are also known as prostanoic acid. Prostanoic acid. It is we are collectively call them as prostanoic acid. That is, from the prostanoic acid, they undergo some sort of structural rearrangement to give rise to different types of prostaglandins and thromboxanes. Okay, so we shall move on to the next topic, the eicosanoids. So what are the functions, or what are eicosanoids? They are the 20 carbon compounds derived from arachidonic acid. All the eicosanoids are synthesized from arachidonic acid. So how do they differ from each other? They differ from each other in the fact that the metabolic pathway is something different, or the enzymes involved in the synthesis are different from each other, which make them different classes of compounds. And they are collectively, the C20 molecule, prostanoic acid, is the parent compound, and the prostanoic acid undergoes some sort of structural rearrangement to give them to a collectively class of compounds known as eicosanoids. And they are very potent compounds. വളരെയധികം ബോഡിക്ക് ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ്, they act at various levels. Immunological system, immune system അവർക്ക് ആവശ്യമാണ്. Then they can act on cardiovascular system, smooth muscle contraction, right? Then kidney functioning, then inflammatory actions. Even pain induce ചെയ്യാൻ വരെ prostaglandins are there. How do you feel the sensation of pain? Pain is sensitized by means of a class of compound known as prostaglandins. Prostaglandins in the action കൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് pain എന്നുള്ള sensation തന്നെ ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്. Clear? When you are having some headache, you'll consume aspirin. Aspirin drug, medicine you will consume. So what does aspirin do? Aspirin is actually blocking the synthesis of one class of prostaglandin. Prostaglandins and different types are there. So one among them is responsible for carrying out the synthesis, a sensation of pain. For pain sensation induce ചെയ്യുന്ന prostaglandin pathway അല്ലെങ്കിൽ enzyme ആണ് aspirin പോയിട്ട് അവിടെ inhibit ചെയ്യുന്നത്. As a result of which your headache will be relieved after some time. Okay, so that is the function of, or that's one of the important functions of the eicosanoid. Eicosanoids includes prostaglandins, prostacyclins, thromboxanes, lipoxins, leukotrienes, etc. Right, and again each class of these eicosanoids, prostaglandins itself are of different types like PGH, PGE, PGA, PGB, PGC, etc. Different types of subclasses are there. Again, each of them are responsible for carrying out important functions also. Right, so it's a very important topic, the eicosanoids. So they are biologically potent compounds and they induces large number of physiological and pathological functions. So it's derived from a Greek word eicosa, which means 20, and they are collectively known as eicosanoids because they differ from each other in their pathway, synthetic pathway. And the eicosanoids are oxygenated derivatives of 3 different 20 carbon fatty acids. So eicosanoids, we have told that there are different types of eicosanoids like prostaglandins, prostacyclins, thromboxanes, etc. So based on the starting substance, they can be divided into 3 different types. Eicosapentaenoic acid. Then, so this is the eicosapentaenoic acid. This is the starting substance of one class of eicosanoid. Then arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is responsible for the synthesis of different types of prostaglandins and thromboxanes. Prostaglandins, prostacyclins, and thromboxanes. Then dihomo-gamma-linolenic acid. That is responsible for another class of eicosanoids. So you don't have to go in detail. You just go through my notes. This is something elaborated. Right, so eicosanoids are oxygenated derivatives. So eicosanoids, arachidonic acid undergoes different types of oxidation reactions to give rise to wide variety of products. So eicosapentaenoic acid or EPA, it's an omega-3 fatty acid with 5 double bonds. Eicosapentaenoic acid, so penta means 5, so it has got 5 double bonds. So such a compound we call it as eicosapentaenoic acid. It's an omega-3 fatty acid, which means it is having a double bond on the omega-3. Rather, methyl group in the starting 3rd position, it is having a double bond. Such a fatty acid is known as omega-3 fatty acid, while arachidonic acid is an omega-6 fatty acid. It do not have double bond on the 3rd position of the omega with respect to the omega carbon atom. It is having a double bond starting from the omega-6 with 4 double bonds. And dihomo-gamma-linolenic acid or DGLA, it's another omega-6 fatty acid with having 3 double bonds. Okay, so these are the different types of fatty acids from which the various types of eicosanoids are synthesized. And the eicosanoids are derived from either omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acids. These 3 classes we can synthesize eicosanoids. But if arachidonic acid is acting as a parent molecule, arachidonic acid is responsible for synthesizing prostaglandins, prostacyclins, and thromboxanes. Clear? The eicosanoids are classified into 2 main groups, namely prostanoids and leukotrienes and lipoxins. So if they are that is, prostanoids include a group of compounds. Prostanoids, we collectively call it as prostanoids. Actually, prostanoids includes prostaglandins, prostacyclins, and thromboxanes. Right? So we can broadly classify the eicosanoids into 2 different classes: prostanoids and leukotrienes and lipoxins. Prostanoids can be further divided into 3 different categories: prostaglandins, prostacyclins, and thromboxanes. So this is the first class of eicosanoid, and this is the second class of eicosanoids. All of them are synthesized from all of these compounds. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes of eicosanoids are synthesized from arachidonic acid. Okay, so that is eicosanoids. Pala types in the based on the derived parent compound. It can be EPA, it can be AA, or it can also be DGLA. Okay, so if AA is the starting substance, it results in the formation of prostanoids and leukotrienes and lipoxins. Prostanol itself is divided into prostaglandins, prostacyclins, and thromboxanes. Okay, so we are concerned with the eicosanoid synthesis from arachidonic acid only.